What's up, guys? Here with another video. In this video I'll be talking about Supermariologan, right? I feel like I did talk about Supermariologan in the past, but I feel like I want to mention them again because I know that Supermariologan is a very popular channel and I know a lot of people watch it, right? But yeah, I've been knowing Supermariologan, for a very long time. I followed them, and now, I don't care about the video. I don't watch their video anymore because of something, right? So let me say Supermariologan, right? Supermariologan has been on YouTube since 2007, the end of 2007, right? So they've been around YouTube for like almost 18 years now, right? And I just know that, they got very popular, So I started watching Supermariologan in 2014. So that means that they've been on YouTube for like 6 or 7 years, right? I feel like their channel growing. That's how they get more audience, right? I mean, whoever watched the video, you maybe know Supermariologan around 2016 and, 2017. That's when they introduced the Jeffy thing, right? The Jeffy thing just made their channel just go viral and their channel start like booming, right? So yeah, I think around I really like the old Supermariologan much better than this new Supermariologan. I like them much better because they were a lot more friendlier, they post a lot more friendly video and the videos are very lesson appropriate. They were funny, right? And I really, like their jokes, right? Now I even forgot, because it's posted so long ago, so I don't even remember any of those because I stopped watching them, right? There's a reason why, a lot of people, like a lot of adults or, people that have common sense, they have unfollowed Supermariologan, right? And I use, right? So, let me say why I really like them. And also, they don't even use foul language throughout their video. They don't even cuss, right? But I know that yeah, so that's because I watched 2014. That's why, their video was very clean, right? But now it gets a little dirty as, time goes on, right? I think around 2015, late 2015 or 2016. 2016 is when their channel, started, to become a little bit very, inappropriate, right? Well, they do have some problem, right? I feel like the Supermariologan, gets worse and worse, right? What first video, got me into Supermariologan, right? What first video? Bowser Jr. and Joseph and Cody, at, summer school in 2014. That's how I remember easily, the first year and the first time, I watched Supermariologan. It's very easy. It's the junior summer school, right? Yeah. God damn, it was so long ago when I was actually, a sophomore in high school, right? So yeah, it will seem to be a very funny video, and all that stuff. But yeah, I remember that they haven't changed that much character, right? There's another thing that Super Mario has he needs to improve, on a lot of things, and I feel like he doesn't want to do it, right? As soon as he gets to 1 million subscribers, he does whatever he wants on YouTube, right? I get why he wants to do YouTube because of, it monetized channel. He needs money. Everybody needs money, everybody needs a job, right? But yeah, on YouTube, if you get certain amounts of subscribers and views and amounts of attention, then you can earn money off of YouTube, right? So yeah, his older video was a lot more classic, but then started when we get to the much 2016 and so on, his video became very inappropriate, right? This is one thing, that why, Supermariologan is now, an inappropriate content, and it's very immature to me, right? And I feel like I have lost interest too. I think the biggest reason why a lot of people don't want to watch Supermariologan, here's the biggest reason. It's because, repetitive, right? I feel like, yeah, it's common sense, people run out of ideas, right? That's the one thing I never mentioned, that when things gets repetitive, people, tends, to lose interest, right? And it gets really annoying, right? The same idea. So what repetitive are you talking about, right? For example, Junior about to Junior and Joseph, keep bullying Cody, for some reason, right? I did watch people who did rant about that, they keep making fun of his mom and his father, right? I mean, this is not good. Like, they shouldn't post, like, they can post, like, funny jokes, but not these type of jokes, where it's, like, bullying someone. Because if a kid watch it, they're gonna go bully people, They use that type of video for example, right? They leave a horrible example on YouTube, and I feel like this is why, YouTube has the right, to strike down the channel, right? This is excessive bullying, right? And also, they make racial stereotype, right? For example, like Black Yoshi, like steal stuff and all that stuff, right? And also, Jackie Chu, the Asian guy, like he's making, racial stereotype against, just based on race and ethnicity, right? Inappropriate things again, like that should not be on YouTube, right? They start cussing a lot, right? And also, I remember, back in old video, I say that some of the old video was inappropriate sometimes, but now it's like a lot more often, like, teach people how to act like a spoiled brat, right? If everything they post on YouTube is okay, if people watch it, then that is not very good, right? So, yeah, I feel like their public video is not good, but yeah, I say none of them are educational. I say pretty much every other video, right? Except for this old one, like I said in the past, right? So, yeah, I feel like, to me, I didn't know that some of his videos are inappropriate because they were so funny, but as I matured, at suddenly, at a late age now, like, I know that this is a really graphic content, right? And also, let's just say, later, I remember that Mr. Goodman used to be a very, good character, but now, this guy sucks, man. Mr. Goodman acts like, Mr. Krabs, right? All he wants is money, 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 right? And he keeps asking Mario for his, house payment, right? Because, for me, sometimes I'm a really stupid person. Like, I see, what's wrong with, being repetitive, right? Goodman always asks for, money, and Chef Pee always, slave for Bowser and all this stuff, right? I don't see, like, any other character. I don't see Woody. I don't see, the Koopalings. I don't see, like, any other character. I don't see, Mama Luigi and all stuff. I don't see Toad. I don't see any of those other, alternative character. It's okay to be repetitive like once in a while, but don't do like too frequently. That's an issue I have with Supermariologan, right? Yeah, I don't see Toad. I don't see any other character. He needs to like introduce like other character. Like, is he that lazy or something? Like, how hard can you be? Like, you're earning a lot of video on YouTube. You should buy your more alternative, puppets, right? And some characters are okay, some are mediocre, and some are like really, really terrible. And also, I remember in the past, like, Jeffy keep bothering Mario all the time, right? And Junior keep, harassing Chef Pee, right? If a kids just watch this like on a daily basis, like, they think they could do to their parent or their babysitter or whatever that is, and always, get what they want, right? They think this is not okay, man, right? I wouldn't want my children doing this to me all the time, right? So I wouldn't want that. Or, seeing, kids, let's say, for example, I never want to have kids, to be honest, that's my personal, but I never want to see your kids, being bullied, just because of what Junior and Joseph has been doing, right? Junior acts, all cool and all stuff. And they introduce, like, new character. And I remember that Brooklyn T guy used to be, superhero and all stuff, but now Brooklyn T guy, he's just something else. He's getting weirder too, right? And I remember that some of their 2016 video became, very inappropriate, right? Like Jeffy cussing all stuff. I remember that Jeffy was, adopted from his mom. He just, left it Mario, right? Yeah, I remember that a lot of people, I feel like Jeffy, helped them in a way, but helped them and also in a negative way, they lose their fans, and that's the only reason why. And also, I remember in the 2017 video, I started to notice like Supermariologan is getting out of control and it's getting really weird, right? They say a lot of, N-words and all that stuff. And then this is when they get, unmonetized. They get demonetized. I mean, demonetized. That's the correct word, right? And then Super Mario complained, and I was complaining for Supermariologan. But yeah, he trying to make this video much more family friendlier. But I still see the same thing. They didn't change that much, right? Supermariologan, Logan himself, and they have personal issues and all that stuff, right? They still act like a children, never want to take responsibility, never want to listen, to people's feedback, right? That's not a full-grown man, right? Yeah, they start to get all weird and all stuff, right? And then, Supermariologan is no longer, that fun anymore. Now, all his puppets are no longer, Mario, because, in 2021, I even forgot what year, Supermariologan, got his channel, terminated, right? Because he was making a mockery out of Nintendo. His puppets are so much of a joke and inappropriate, like it's ruining the Nintendo brand. And they have, and yeah, anyone who owns Nintendo, they definitely have a right to sue that guy, right? He didn't. I don't think that this guy deserved another chance of being on YouTube, right? Just seemed like of his dirty personality and his dirty puppets, right? Mocking out of stuff. And ever since he got his new puppet, I know that channel is no longer fun anymore, and I feel like a lot of people still subscriber. People are only interested because of Jeffy now. Because if they get rid of Jeffy, or if YouTube, I think YouTube can do one thing, like not to be too harsh on them, right? Without being harsh on them. I know how YouTube can terminate Supermariologan. Just remove Jeffy, that's all, right? If you remove Jeffy, and if say that tell Logan and his entire crew, no more making Jeffy videos, then I feel like that channel is gonna go irrelevant, right? Yeah, and Jeffy was another big reason, like why that channel sucks, right? Because there's this one video that just made it on the news, right? And put on news, and it's really dangerous, and kids should never see that video, right? That 2017 video, I remember that Jeffy throw a tantrum just because Jeffy doesn't get what he wants, or just because Mario refused just to pay like $2 or $3 for that stupid app on the game, right? And then Jeffy just throw tantrum, throw TV and all stuff, and then I see Jeffy just get a rope, hang himself, and and just happen, just a kid, see, this is another thing why our generation is really screwed, because because anybody can be on YouTube, right? I thought that YouTubers can have like teenagers viewing the video, but there's no way. A lot of people can like fake their age and lie about their age, or they can either watch on their parents tablets and all that stuff, or their older sibling tablets, right? Just to watch the video, right? They see an inappropriate video, they think it's okay, they do it, and guess what? They got in trouble. That's a setup of a very bad example. This is why I call it a joke, right? You set up a bad example, for your younger generation, and they think it's okay to do it, and it's not, right? So yeah, this one little boy just does it, and then his older brother has to let his mother know, like that older boy is trying to, he thinks it's okay, and then he didn't realize that he's trying to kill himself, right? Just because he saw Jeffy does it, he thinks he can do it, and then and that family has the right to sue Supermariologan, right? So yeah, and Supermariologan got into a lot of trouble, right? This is exactly what happened, right? I feel like Supermariologan, I was hoping for a change, right? But I knew, I just watched their video casually, and I just watched it again and again, and yeah, it can get very addictive, watching them, right? This is why you should stay away from the channel, because when you get addicted watching them, you think they're good, then you're gonna end up just like them, being very inappropriate. You don't want to act like a full-grown man. You wanna copy their jokes and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden people are now disliking you because you copy them, right? So yeah, set up a really bad example, bad habits. And I'm starting to learn, some of their jokes too, and just copy them for fun. And I've realized that I'm looking really dumb at the end of the day. You Supermariologan are embarrassing me right now. Like, how can I be a fan of you guys? You guys are really embarrassing me, You make me look like really like a silly little child, right? Especially, let me rant about every single character about Supermariologan. What about Shrek, right? This is really why I don't see lots of Shrek video. I like to watch Shrek video, but I don't think I want to see him anymore. Shrek is gross, He craps and eats all day, do nothing, right? Especially he eats cheesecake. He's a fat green ogre, that likes to eat cheesecake all the time. He calls people donkey and all that stuff, right? I remember I used to call people donkey because of Shrek, right? And then Shrek goes to the bathroom and crap all over the toilet. It's so gross, man. Some characters are such weirdos, and this attracts weirdos too, That's another thing. If you set up example to be a weirdo, then you will attract weirdos. If you set up example, to act like a grown-up and act responsibility and act like, mature, then you will attract mature people, right? That's just how it is, Just for example, like LeBron James is a weirdo, right? If you don't watch the NBA, as a real NBA fan, see, by LeBron doing all these weird stuff that he shouldn't be doing, all these weird, funny stuff, now he attracts these weirdos, his weirdo fans does the same thing, and now they say weird stuff because of, what that guy said, right? Same thing, I feel like some of his Supermariologan fan, I say that a lot of them are now, gonna be toxic, just like LeBron fan, for example. Big example I can think of, right? Yeah, used to be a fan of Supermariologan. I'm not gonna buy I'm not spending a single penny on that trash, right? And even EDP 445, like, I wonder why they're not getting more new casts, right? If Supermariologan was that good, how come they're not getting new casts? How come not a lot of people come to them, right? That's, how now, I never run a business before. This is how I think logically. This is how I think your business work, right? If you're doing well and if you don't have toxic behavior, and if you're really good and you make really good and everything, and if you make people want to like and love you, a lot of people want to work for you, right? How come Supermariologan only have Lavelle and other cats and I forgot they have Tito and all that stuff, and they have the guy who voiced for Cody, right? How come a lot of people don't want to work for them? It's because they are a joke, right? Like nobody wants to be like them, right? I even talk about EDP 445, I definitely know who he is, right? And one time, Logan even offer him a lot of money to do some character act, and he said he doesn't want to do it because he know that is immature and being weird. They know they're weirdos, right? They know it, and I know it, right? All that weird things that he doesn't want to do, I feel like he doesn't want to do it, and also it makes him look like a dumb idiot person, right? I feel like some of his cast maybe only want to work for him just for the sake of money, right? So yeah, I cannot think of other character. And when he introduced new character, I forgot Timmy and all that stuff, right? On YouTube, they don't sound fun. They are not entertaining. They also sound annoying too, right? Mario's new neighbor, right? And I remember that there's Supermariologan also make new character, but then he doesn't ever use it again, right? I feel he wants to take his old character. I get it, This guy is probably not, he doesn't seem that clever. That's just in my opinion of why Super Mario Logan stick to the same idea, right? I don't know what's wrong with Super Mario Logan, right? What else? Yeah, I remember Brooklyn T guy, you know, and his brother, right? I remember he has a brother, and then I remember he has a mom, and I know Brooklyn T guy has other character. Man, his wife sounds so annoying, and so is Rosalina, right? Oh yeah, you know, the character from, you know, Mario Galaxy seems to be annoying, right? I think of, you know, other character, you know, yeah, they just, I don't know what else to say. Let's see, yeah, they do introduce new character, but I don't find them interesting as well, you know. Other same joke that they always do. I remember, you know, in school, you know, I remember, you know, Bullet Bill, you know, bully people, right? I get like sometimes they want to show that bullying is not okay, right? And people are fed up with it, right? But the way to make it is, it doesn't seem appropriate, right? I feel like they should listen to feedback and try to make it a little bit better, right? I get it, you know, we're human, make mistake, but you cannot repeat the same mistake, or you cannot just ignore the feedback and just, you know, do what you feel like you want to do, right? I remember that Supermariologan, you know, had the worst chance, you know. He got so close to 10 million subscriber and he got terminated, right? I feel like they're currently back to 8 million subscriber. I feel like they have dropped down backwards, right? To me, before I end off this video, I want, you know, to also, you know, to talk about Supermariologan, right? I would not be surprised if YouTube just, you know, terminate them, right? Because, you know, it's just too inappropriate, you know, right? It just doesn't, you know, it doesn't get my attention, right? I remember that some of my, you know, best friend or my, you know, former longtime friend I have not seen, you know, they suddenly stopped Supermariologan. It's not because they're busy and all stuff, that's true, you know, but they're just losing interest because Logan is just not making quality video, right? So yeah, and I thought that, yeah, even though there's some of their videos, you'll help them to grow and all that stuff, right? And when they make jokes, like, they tend to cuss and they just make these characters, you know, act so aggressive, you know, right? I mean, do I still watch Supermariologan? Like, very rarely, you know, and I only watch the Mickey Mouse and Goofy thing. That's about it. They sound funny to me, but then, you know, their joke is, you know, it's kind of a joke too. So their joke is like really, you know, also inappropriate. So if I do watch Supermariologan, I only watch Fuse videos just to see, you know, like if they stay the same or not, right? And they stay absolutely pretty much the same, right? Or I don't even have to watch their like video by video, you know, just to see, you know, like if they change their, you know, jokes or not, or if they totally change their, you know, content of video they upload, right? I can just listen to other people and they will say the same thing, right? So yeah, I mean it is what it is, you know, anyway, right? So the good example they set up in the past is like, you know, oh, like if you get bad grades in school, you know, I remember that your parent will ground you, right? That's a good example right there. They used to do these type of stuff. Now it's just not there anymore, right? Or they completely just stop, right? And I feel like they are unprofessional, right? I remember one video where they post like blood scene where they kill puppets and all stuff, like blood scatter all over stuff, right? Also, you know, inappropriate, right? And I feel like sometimes they run out of ideas, so they have to copy your other ideas, right? Feel like, yeah, it's okay, right? Some videos are okay, some are like really good past, and now, you know, all his videos are like all terrible, right? It's just, and I remember, you know, another repetitive video that, you know, Supermariologan used to do a lot. It's like Jeffy play his, you know, cat piano, right? And also, you know, naming Chef Pee Pee the puppet, see, that's already a red flag right there, right? I remember that that the way they name their puppet, like one of their puppets' name is just really ridiculous, called Chef PP. Like, that is a weird name. That's just in my opinion, right? I mean, some of you may agree with me, right? Who would want to name their puppet? Who would want to name their children that way, right? They give them really weird names, right? So yeah, and also, I remember, I remember Supermariologan also, do some, you upload like Doofy the Dragon and Charlie, right? I really like Charlie, that is an okay version, right? But that's not the point, like, why people stop watching video. I remember that Bowser got so lazy, and also, like being, harsh and aggressive, to check pee-pee, do this, do that, right? So yeah, I remember like Doofy Dragon, always kill himself. See, that's already a red flag on his channel, right? See, it's similar like Jeffy, pulling the hero, except it's not as inappropriate as the Jeffy thing, right? Let me think of other videos like why Supermariologan is like going down, right? Yeah, I mean, I pretty much forget, like other jokes, like why Supermariologan is not that, will not be that relevant and seems to be overrated, and also, it's just not, they just don't post like really interesting video, right? I remember that they try and post an interesting video, they promise, and they fail their promise, right? Something that I cannot trust, right? Let me think of another reason, I remember, they have Penelope joke and all stuff, right? Oh yeah, I remember the Brooklyn guys, dog name, yeah, Penelope, right? Yeah, she seems, also like a whiny spoiled brat too, right? So it's just like a girl. I mean, Penelope is just, a girl version of, of Junior, right? And they also, like hating each other and all that stuff, right? I remember that, Supermariologan also, he makes a lot of, content that a lot of people don't like, and using my comments that I really should not like, I should not really learn from them, right? It's really, because every time I watch a video, like I see, the things that they should not be doing, now I just, copy them, right? Or people of a younger generation, people cannot, people that don't have common sense, that they just see this video, then they just do the same thing and they think it's totally fine, right? When they realize that it wasn't fine, right? That's just the problem, I see, right? So yeah, I don't know what. Yeah, they should make a fun adventure of Mario, Luigi, right? Let's see, and I think there's like nothing, yeah, sometimes sometimes they just make the character do, literally do the same thing as they did, from other video after other video, right? So yeah, I feel like, Supermariologan, they just, just do same repetitive joke. I know that they have to make the length of the video at a certain length so they can get monetized, right? They just do that just for fun, right? So yeah, I remember, character do the same thing. I remember, Patrick. I remember other stuff. Oh, I forgot, man. Lots of characters they do, right? So yeah, I feel like Supermariologan should, do a lot more character, just, alternate, around, just have a certain set schedule, right? But I feel like they're not going to listen to me because I'm a small channel, right? And I technically don't care for them, right? Things that they could have done to get better, right? I mean, yeah, but even if they add new character, like, some of them are just still annoying, Some of them are just, still, not educational, right? I only, watch channel, that are educational, that always have to tell the truth and always have high integrity, right? I don't I say none of the videos are like educational, honestly, right? So yeah, and also they upload lots of video like killing puppets and all stuff. Oh, I forgot that. Now I know why, Supermariologan, child can go down from hill, actually destroying stuff, right? Yeah, I remember like why, Supermariologan has to like keep moving out of his parents' house. Like this is like my very good speculation of why Supermariologan has to avoid all these people, because when they make a video, they destroy lots of things, right? And kid does it, if they think it's okay, they do it, and guess what, they get in trouble, right? They think that breaking stuff is okay, right? When you're angry, when you're frustrated, or when you want to have fun. I remember I remember that was a funny video, but now, I realized I thought that was okay, but then, I mature a little bit, and this is not okay, right? Yeah, breaking a lots of stuff, and like Junior breaking stuff, Bowser breaking stuff, like everybody breaks stuff, right? Showing, just, puppets, Mario, character puppet, just hold the item and break the item, right? Yeah, and sometimes, I remember, Supermariologan also posts, clown videos, right? Some of them are, just being really pervert, just really looking, for kids and all that stuff, right? Yeah, like it's just showing, a grown crowd, of what would a real grown man, do to little kids or, other, adults, right? Just rape and molest people, right? That's just to me, that should not be posted at all, and that ain't cool, man, right? And I don't really like that at all, right? Maybe they could show up, but they say that, they need to tell us like this is not okay to do, right? They should just show on video, right? But they didn't warn us, right? They should at least put a warning. Maybe that's why. Maybe some people will disagree with some of my comment, but yeah, like they show what they did wrong, and they just say, do not do this, right? That's all they need to do, right? And then that's how you teach people to learn it, right? Now I get it, right? So yeah, I feel like, why is destroying stuff is bad? One, it just teaches them to be bad, and there's no reason, because it makes a lot of noise, right? I remember that they used to live in the apartment. I forgot what year it is, man. I remember they moved out of their parent house. Maybe because their parent could not stand these children, Logan, children anymore, right? Yeah, just banging out stuff and just do what they want to do, right? Or maybe you just want to live out. No, I don't get it, I don't really care, of their personal issue, right? It's not my problem, it's their problem, right? So yeah. Supermariologan, just breaking, stuff, right? It causes a lot of noise, and their neighbors and the neighbor or the people around them, that live around them, they get really annoyed, and this is why they have to move, right? I remember the last time they make a video over there, like I remember that the Koopa video, they break all the stuff and all stuff, right? So yeah, because I remember Supermariologan, they just make a lots of loud video, and now like they have a big house and they have more privacy, right? Because when you make a loud noise, like people can hear it, and it just it's just disturbing, and it just invades their privacy, right? That tends to be a real big problem, right? So yeah, I feel like Supermariologan has just gone to very extreme, right? By destroying stuff, and not only it just costs them money to replace stuff, the broken items and stuff, right? Some videos are just very costly. I don't know like how much money he spent making video, right? Some are just look ridiculous and ludicrous, right? It's just very ridiculous, man, right? Yeah, I don't think they started showing stuff until like 2016, right? So yeah, other important thing that YouTube never mentioned about, like why they got demonetized, right? Why it's not family friendly. So there's other inappropriate things that maybe I fail to see, or YouTube fail to see, or it's just both, or people just, other people see. There's just lots of, viewers that I see on YouTube, right? I even started forgetting like what the type of video they post on YouTube anyway, right? But yeah, I should not, invest my time on them anymore, It's just an absolute clown show, man. Clown show, right? Yeah, I got bad things to do, I feel like these kids, when they grow up like me, they realize that, Supermariologan, I highly doubt they change, right? They only change from their certain past, and I don't think they ever change to get better. They're just gonna remain the same thing, right? They just, to me, I thought they have new ideas. This is why I failed to realize that Super Mario Logan is repetitive. I'll tell you why, how I see it, right? I thought that they're making new video and all, making new content, but they just changed the title video, and they just make different background, They just changed a little bit here and there, but the content and the jokes are the same, right? This is why people come back, right? This is how a lot of people can get easily lots of like millions of clickbait, right? They just make the same idea and also, but they just change around here and there. They just make a little bit there, something like that, right? So yeah, they make Joseph, the Koopa act like like a black guy, right? So yeah. But yeah, do I have a favorite character of Supermariologan? To me, I used to have one, but not anymore, I used to like Shrek, but yeah, but Shrek is just too disgusting, right? Too disgusting, right? I remember, Toad and all stuff, had the high pitch and all stuff. Yeah, I even forgot all the character. I remember, the judge of, Brooklyn Tea guy, right? Acts like in many roles, right? Well, if I missed something in this video, you can just comment below, and I will upload it, later on YouTube, right? So yeah, I don't know, like when I stopped watching Supermariologan, maybe as soon as they terminated, yeah, everybody just not have the time, or not want the attention or time spent with watching these crap, low quality video. The video quality is okay, but but the content just sucks, man. It does. And it's only attracting children, not adults, right? Nothing fun about it, right? And there's some of the old videos that I really used to like. Now I don't see them anymore, right? They just stopped doing it, man, right? Yeah. I remember, my favorite memory of, Supermariologan. I remember, Principal Steinbeck, right? I remember that guy's so funny, he acts like a really strict, principal. Yeah, that was the funny one, right? I don't feel like they don't do too much of that, right? Well, just have to end it off here, and bye-bye.